Hi, everybody. Paul Walsh here with Michael Dobbs to talk about the weather impact on business and how we're helping companies actually leverage that data along with analytics. The topic for me today really is all around our ability collectively to predict the weather. The fact is, we are getting really, really good at predicting, sometimes well in advance, events that are going to be meaningful both to consumers and to businesses in general. The example I want to give is the prediction of the major cold outbreak in Texas that basically shut Texas down, had major impacts on the supply chain. And really, you hear a lot of talk in the media about how this was like an unexpected event. In reality, it was not unexpected because these forecasts are getting so much better and so granular and so scalable. It's an asset now that companies are leveraging to be able to be better prepared in advance of not just events like what happened in Texas, but also just day-to-day weather conditions. The fact is, one of the most accurate predictions of anything out there, think about economics, think about fashion, et cetera, is the weather forecast. And yet, of course, as weather forecasters, we all get a bad rap. But the reality is those weather forecasts are really accurate. Because we are all consuming weather forecasts on our mobile phones every day, that forecast is what drives consumer behavior. So that makes that data point tremendously important for retailers and for CPG companies to be able to anticipate how that's going to be shaping what customers are going to be wanting and needing. That's what Michael and I do on a day-to-day basis, is work with companies like that. So I just wanted to make that point. I will now turn it over to Michael to talk a little bit more about sort of the practical aspects of taking those insights and integrating it into both either the supply chain or into the demand chain to optimize those insights. So take it away, Michael.
Thanks, Paul. One of the things that we often hear, almost always hear when we come in and we start talking to companies about using weather and other forms of external data is, we already buy weather data. We already use weather data. And the fact is, as Paul was saying, that's just not true. A lot of companies are buying it, but buying it and using it are two very different things. And what we're really advocating through this series of videos that we've been doing is more than just buying it and looking at it every week or two, but buying it and integrating it into your business's decision making so that at the end of the day, your business is ready to make changes, and you can even use AI to automate those changes into your business. And to Paul's point earlier in Texas around that horrible catastrophe of the bad weather that hit a few weeks ago, if more of the businesses had been doing that, they would have probably been able to know, what, we need to stock more of certain items. So their supply chain would have been more ready for the event, because at the end of the day, they would have known in advance, they would have ordered the right products in advance, and they would have been ready. And think about other areas of the business too. Think about marketing, think about advertising. In previous videos, we've spoken about how you can take external data like weather and use that to drive advertising for products that are really relevant to your customers at that time based on the weather that's out there at that moment and or based on the forecast that's out there at that moment. But how many companies are really doing it? We're here today to advocate, don't check weather off of your list and simply say, yeah, we did that, but really think about how you can integrate this into your systems and into your business in order to drive real change, take real advantage, and start gaining share, sales, and profitability. Reach out to either Paul or to myself. We'd love to talk to you. And thank you very much for your time.